I won't talk about my fantastic solo album.
And I won't talk about my solo career either. So what we're going to talk about? Genesis. Brilliant. Right here on Friday Night Videos, it's Genesis.
There was one thing I wanted to say about the Mechanics.
Yes, actually, I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about that.
Tonight on Friday Night Videos, your guest hosts from the group Genesis are superstar Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford, who you may know as the Mike of Mike and the Mechanics, and Tony Banks.
We've all grown up. I mean, we all get on incredibly well now. I mean, we have a conscious of what it looks like. We all laugh an awful lot together. When we were great fun making the album. And but I remember days of long gone when we were, I guess it was the toll of, you know, doing 7 days a week, doing gigs. When one night there was, we came off stage, and there was
the fight.
There was the fight. Yes, there was a classic fight. When I don't know what it was that Tony had. I think was it you that had done something, or was
No, you wouldn't go back on stage.
Oh, that's right.
I had a bad
very
gig.
annoyed about the gig, and wouldn't go back on for the encore. And so I think you threw a chair at him, didn't you?
No, I wouldn't do that.
I think he threw a chair at him. Tony threw a chair at Mike.
I didn't mention.
You did, and he missed. No, I think you missed, and then because we just suddenly agreed we had to do an encore because the audience wouldn't go home without one. So Mike agreed to do an encore, and as he walked out of the door, Tony was there behind him, but 2 steps behind him, trying to kick his leg behind him so he would trip up.
I was trying to kick him.
You were trying to kick me.
Michael Mann in Los Angeles, when I did my show in Los Angeles, and he saw me introduce the band and said that was the character that he thought he'd try and get a script based around, which was like a game show host. And then he sent me a script, which I thought was just a small cameo part, and I started turning over the pages. And I found out that I was turning over an awful lot of pages, and it turned out to be far more than a cameo part. It turned out to be one of the main parts in it, apart from Crockett and Tubbs. But so I went over there, sort of, just having just learnt the thing, and I was promptly given a new script, which completely, put me in a flat because I was just learnt the one I thought was going to be the script, and they gave me a brand new one. And I was panicking until I found out that Don Johnson hadn't even read the first script. They just sort of go from day to day. So they were very, very helpful down there. I had a great time doing it, and I think I'm going to go back and do another episode next season. I presume the show's going to come back next season.
With us lot, I mean, he did leave us back in 1974, which is now 12 years ago. But anyhow, I think the song's great, Sledgehammer. I like the album very much too, but the only thing I would say is it's a shame that this album has done so well over here, whereas, say, the last couple of albums, which I think, from my feeling, are actually slightly better.
But I think it's great that Pete has had the success he's had. I mean, albeit, it's been a long time since the last album anyway, and I think it's, he does work very hard on his records, long and hard, doesn't he?
Long,
especially long.
You're right. The whole American vibe is suddenly they discovered en masse Peter Gabriel. Yeah.
Influences on this band, or in most bands, I would think. I would like to think, and that's an enormous influence on me, and I think, musically.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But it was an extraordinary experience, when you bought records, completely idolised the guys. Every now and again, I still think of myself as a fan of all these people. No matter how successful we get, I always think of as them as being, on a different kind of area, and a different scale altogether. And so to be sort of in the studio with him, every now and again you'd pinch yourself and say, good God, this really is that person that you admired so much 20-odd years ago. Funny old world.
Well, a lot of people think that all I need is a miracle is actually all I need is America. I think I was a hit. Tom did, my little boy. I think it's a very good pop song. There's nothing wrong with a good pop song. And
no, I think it's a great pop song. I told you this. I said to you that if you didn't release it as a single, I was going to do it with Eric Clapton. But you released it.
I didn't release it as a single. Honest. Exactly what we think about Phil's solo albums, won't we?
We will.
The real, true story.
My solo success has had any impact at all on Tony and Mike's relationship with me inside the group as we know it.
He comes in the morning, pushes us out the way, says, hello, what we're going to do is this. Nah, they're quiet.
Mike, polish my roller. We don't really talk about it. I think we've known each other so long that it's gone to, we've known each other so long to pull any fast ones. I think we all know that there's a tremendous element of luck involved in anything in relation to this business. I mean, being the record coming out at the right time, capturing the imagination of a certain amount of people, whereas so many other records which are just as good or just as bad, which way you look at it, come out and, you know, just miss out.